Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? CIAA requires all registered sports officials to enforce the sportsmanship rules for coaches and contestants.
What's your name?
Actions meant to demean
I'm Charles.
opposing players, teams, spectators, and officials are not in the highest ideals of interscholastic education and will not be tolerated and are on the grounds for removal from the stadium. Let today's contest reflect mutual respect. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Senior Field, where today we present, in cooperation with the CIAA and District 1, a Central League Girls Soccer game between the Royals of Upper Darby High School and your Conestoga Pioneers. Let's meet the starting lineup. First for the Upper Darby Royals. Number 2, Evelyn Nuala. Number 3, Angelina Mora. Number 5, Mackenzie Kine. Number 7, Jamie Cole. Number 9, Aubrey Patterson. Number 11, Petra Metkowski. Number 13, Audrey Scouten. Number 20, Kayla Ward. Number 21, Tazeen Bird. And number 30, Sophia Tierra. And now for your Pioneers. Number 25, Georgia Rios. Number 20, Freya Bulamani. Number 26, Maddie Fox. Number 33, Taylor Frederick. Number 32, Ryan Jennings. Number 3, Kate Kemmerly. Number 8, Chelsea Bachman. Number 1, Peyton McCall. Number 9, Rhea Mishra. Number 19, Julia Ricks. And your goalkeeper, number 0, Izzy Montalvo. At this time, would everyone please rise, remove your hats, and feel free to join in the singing of our national anthem.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Teamer Field, where the Conestoga Pioneers will be hosting Upper Darby High School in an early season soccer game. I'm Toby Dieterla, and here with me is
Calvin Can.
This is going to be an intense game. Early in the season, both teams have high energy, both pretty strong teams too. Calvin, what do you think will be the keys to success or important parts of this game?
I think definitely having a lot of stamina and patience in getting that. Definitely the first goal will set the mood and attitude for the first half as well as the second half. We'll have to see what Conestoga and Upper Darby are able to do in the first half, because that will really set the mood for the rest of the game.
Definitely momentum is going to be key here. If you tuned into any of the boys games we've broadcasted, we've seen that whoever scores first at least has had a trend to kind of dominate the rest of the game. So both teams are really going to be fighting for that first goal. And like you mentioned, patience, stamina, those are also going to factor in. I think stamina is more of a late game thing, but most of the players here are starting out super fresh, super energized, but as we get later into the game, they might get exhausted, and that's really going to bring down team performance. And then finally, patience, as you said, that's really key. I think simple soccer, looking for the right opportunities to bounce on, looking for the right mispositionings to punish, that's really going to be key to see which team, at least strategically, will win this game. Coming up to start here, Upper Darby on the right side of the field. They're going to start kickoff. Conestoga on the left. A little bit of a stalling before we start the game, but Calvin, do you have any predictions at all for this game?
I think that Conestoga will probably have a very strong defense the first half, and Upper Darby will try to score some goals on them. But I think Conestoga will be able to turn it around the second half, but we'll just have to see, and here we go.
Yeah, only foresight, but we start off. Upper Darby starts with it in their back half. Try to bring it up the left. It's sent out by Conestoga defender. Upper Darby starting back at square one with the throw-in on the left side. Conestoga sending it up. On the right side, number 20, Furet, is going to go for that for Conestoga, but cannot get it. It's going to be an Upper Darby goal kick. A little bit of a preview for the game ahead. I think there's going to be a lot of shutdowns here. Maybe plays outside. Force a throw-in for the other team. I think that's going to be a common trait. Upper Darby shoots it, but Conestoga intercepts it. Now bringing it up into the right corner. Crosses it into the center. Conestoga recuperates, but hits it back out. Tough fight here in Upper Darby's half. Number 1, Peyton McCall, really fighting for it on that right side for Conestoga, but cannot get it in, cannot get the shot they need. It's looking like a Conestoga corner kick, though. This is a pretty big opportunity. We've seen in other games that corners are really crucial for scoring. You can maybe get an early lead, or even just applying pressure to the other team can really be crucial here.
And as we talked about, that first goal is really crucial here. So if they are able to get that first goal, it really will set the momentum for the rest of the game.
It's true. Conestoga sends it into the middle. Ground play. And Upper Darby gets it out. Now bringing it up on the left, looking for a counterattack. But Conestoga sends it back in. Shot fired from just outside the box from Kate Kemmerly on Conestoga, number 3. Saved by Upper Darby, though. Upper Darby looking for a punt here. Not super far, keeping it in their half. Conestoga looks for an interception. Both teams fighting for it. It's in Upper Darby's box now, but it looks like they're going to play it out. And that's going to be another corner kick for Conestoga. Great play on both teams, especially Conestoga. Number 1 again, Peyton McCall, forcing that corner kick for Conestoga. Huge opportunity. Calvin, what do you think about this early play that we've seen?
I think they've been having sort of a slow start here. There's not a lot of back and forth. We've been sort of stuck on Upper Darby's half, and that may mean that Conestoga is definitely pushing on their offense, but we'll just have to see what happens here.
That's true. It is a bit of a one-sided game so far. Almost all the play has resided on Upper Darby's half. Conestoga retaining possession. Now it's in the box. Box bouncing around. A volley of headers in Upper Darby sends it to the right corner. Conestoga gets it on the left wing, looking to cross it in, but they have to bring it back. Pass back up to the goal and a shot fired, but Upper Darby able to save it. That was a boom from Conestoga. Left side, just outside the box. Calvin, do you think that was a good shot to take or no?
Well, I think it was a little bit rushed. I think they could have maybe had a little more patience, as we said. And I think it looks like they're going to go for another corner kick, perhaps. That kick, I think they could have come a little closer, maybe passed it more to the right side of the field.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is tricky. Early in the game, I think, you know, nothing's set in stone, so both teams are probably just going to try stuff new. Let's try new things. Conestoga now with it. 2 shots on goal, 1 saved, 1 off the post, but Conestoga brings it back in again. And that's going to be a goal, looks like, unless it's called off. That's going to be a goal for Conestoga. Calvin, what did you see?
Pretty impressive. I mean, Conestoga did miss 2 goal opportunities, and I was going to say it would be very sad if they didn't get that 1 goal there, but they managed to get it on their 3rd try. 3rd time's the charm. And see as we recuperate here, back to starting position.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of opportunities there. Corner kick goes into the box, rattles around a little bit, and number 19, Julia Rick, is able to get the ball in. Huge for Conestoga. That's going to set the tone for the rest of the game, give them some momentum and the confidence they need to continue. And again, Conestoga back with it, with the pressure. Shot coming out from outside. And Upper Darby with a maybe own goal. Attempted slide tackle. We'll see what the... So yeah, that's going to be a goal for Conestoga. Puree Abulaman. Great 2nd goal for Conestoga. They're really setting the tone here. Up by 2-0. First couple minutes of the game. Looking a little bit rough for Upper Darby, but again, we're so early into the game, so early into the season. Also, nothing is really determined yet. Calvin, we've seen a little bit of a one-sided game here. Conestoga really applying a lot more pressure, getting more successful attacks. What do you think Upper Darby needs to turn that around?
They really need to get the ball onto Conestoga's side, really pressure their defense here, because if they sort of just lay back, then they're going to let Conestoga have these opportunities to score more goals. So, yeah, it looks like finally we see that ball just briefly on Conestoga's side.
Yeah, I think aggression for Upper Darby will be kind of crucial. We've seen a lot of pressure from Conestoga, really ruthless, not giving Upper Darby any room to breathe. And if they can't get that ball out of their half, they're just going to tire out. Conestoga is going to keep on it with the attacks. Short punt there from Upper Darby. Intercepted by Conestoga on the left wing. Kate Kimmerly looking for a cross inside, but opts for a dribble. Ball is super close on the inside, super close proximity, but it's deflected outward. And that's looking like maybe another corner kick for Conestoga.
These short punts by Upper Darby are not really helping them. They need to get the ball to the other side to possibly give them an opportunity to score. So, Toby, it really looks like they need to step up their game to get that punt further out.
Yeah, I mean, that can be tricky, but it is crucial. Conestoga just snagging that possession, really dominating the ball control so far. Most of the time with the ball, the vast majority so far has been with the Pioneers. And if Upper Darby wants to turn this game around, they're going to have to do something about that. Now a sub coming in, or a stoppage for sure. Upper Darby looking maybe to switch out their goalkeeper. As we wait here, Calvin, Conestoga has had a pretty good start to this game. Do you think that will continue?
I definitely think it depends on the Upper Darby side. Yeah, if nothing changes, well, obviously there are changes because the goalie is changing. But if Upper Darby doesn't change their sort of strategy here, Conestoga is going to score more goals. They are starting another corner kick on Upper Darby's side, so they really need to defend this goal because a 3-0 score just 10 to 15 minutes into the game really sets the tone for the rest of the half and the game.
That's true. A third goal would be unfortunate for Upper Darby, but again, a win for Conestoga, but Upper Darby just cannot take a 3-point deficit this early into the game. again into the box. No headers, so it's on the ground. Just outside the box on the left field. Looking for a shot in, but it's over. Conestoga not able to connect. But again, still dominating. Getting, I think, every single shot on goal that we've seen this game. Getting so many chances. Upper Darby is struggling here. But it's so early in the game, anything is really possible. 35-ish minutes left in the half. A lot of room to work with. But if things don't change, Conestoga will keep winning. Upper Darby with a small punt again, but gets it up to midfield. Conestoga with a wall of defenders stopping them. Number 1, Peyton McCall again, stopping that ball at midfield, turning around. Conestoga relentless with the counterattacks. Again, up into that left goal box. It's passed into the middle. And it's recovered by Upper Darby. Goalie possession, or maybe a corner.
I mean, the amount of goal opportunities that Conestoga has had really sets the tone here, because they, like, Upper Darby hasn't really gotten the ball past midfield for a couple of minutes now, and that could really be an issue for them this half and next half as well.
Yeah, it is going to be tough. And again, Conestoga with another corner. Huge opportunity. Big chance at another goal, and it is. Header in. Potential offside. No, it's a goal. Ruled goal for Conestoga. Really great play there. Or maybe it's not. Scratch that. It could be no goal. That's what it looks like. Anyway, Upper Darby kicking it up the field. First good chance they've had in a while, but Conestoga again back with it in possession. That last goal, I think, was ruled offsides for Conestoga, so they could not get that one. But again, still in the 2-point lead. Conestoga right off the bat with another counterattack. Upper Darby making an attack of their own, but vastly outnumbered. Conestoga really has, I think, mastered their team. They have really good chemistry, really good positioning. Just a lot of things going right for them. Now bringing it up the right side. Conestoga ahead of everybody else. A really good chance here. Bringing it back right of the box. Conestoga 3 shots. None of them connect. It goes wide. And that's going to be an Upper Darby ball.
Really fortunate for Upper Darby. I mean, 3 opportunities and they didn't make it in. Again, a 3-0 score would really be devastating for them.
That's true. Conestoga has had so many opportunities. Upper Darby's lucky they haven't been successful with more. But again, ball's still in their half, as it has been for most of the game. Upper Darby tries to make a change, but Conestoga intercepts it. Again with another tack. Bringing it up the middle, through pass to Kimmerly. Gets the ball. Shot is deflected by Upper Darby defender, but it's still in the box. Super high risk here for Conestoga. Or, I mean, Upper Darby. Conestoga could get their 3rd goal. Really important for both teams here. Conestoga gains possession on the right, brings it back to midfield. Try to recuperate a little bit. Again, really no stress on Conestoga. They're up by 2 very early into the game. Not much has to happen here. But I predict that they will keep their pursuit for more goals. Now again, through pass on the left side. Looking for a cross in. Or a dribble, we'll see. Pass right into the middle of the box, but it's saved by Upper Darby. Great goalkeeping there. Again, another Conestoga attack shut down. Considering the amount of attacks Conestoga has put up, it's pretty surprising and very impressive. Upper Darby has defended so many. And again, it's going to be another one. Upper Darby throw in. It looks like Conestoga's attack temporarily stopped with the play out to the sidelines. Calvin, we've seen a huge success from Conestoga so far. Good points on the ball, great playmaking. What do you think is leading to that success?
I think putting good pressure on Upper Darby and keeping them on their side of the field really defends them, as well as pressures Upper Darby to sort of defend their goal as well. So it stops them from really advancing toward Conestoga's side of the goal. And you can see here, again, Conestoga's defense sort of blocking out any sort of attack that Upper Darby attempts to have.
That's true. The positioning is very well performed for Conestoga. As Calvin said, not giving Upper Darby much room to work with. Their defense is getting a little bit cramped, and that's going to be a free kick for Conestoga. Big opportunity here, but direct shot isn't possible. Or so it seems. Maybe so, but Conestoga, again, regardless, is looking at a huge opportunity here. Could maybe get their third goal off this. And Upper Darby has to do a lot to defend this. Upper Darby with a nice save. Shot goes to the left corner, bottom left corner, but Upper Darby is able to save it. Nice block by them, but that's going to lead to another corner kick for Conestoga.
We've seen so many corner kicks on Upper Darby's side of the field. It really shows how many goal opportunities that Conestoga has had.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just astounding when you see it. Another cross sent into the goalie box. On the ground, no headers that time. Upper Darby is able to send it left. Conestoga still with the ball, though, inside the box. Bit of dribbling. That looks like maybe a goal, as long as it's not ruled off. Yeah, that's looking like a goal for Conestoga. Third of the game. Beautiful performance. Calvin, what do you think is causing Upper Darby's poor performance here?
As the announcer in Teamer here announces that goal, we really need Upper Darby to try to advance towards the Conestoga side of the field. I mean, look at that goalie there looking so bored. We need Upper Darby to really advance towards their side of the field.
Yeah, back to that goal that just happened. Beautiful goal by number 19, Julia Rick, on Conestoga. Just a little bit of a pause there because not sure what the call was, but as we see here, it's 3-0. Pioneers in the lead by 3. Tough deficit to take for Upper Darby, but again, as I mentioned before, big win for Conestoga. Now they have kind of a safety net, a lot of room to work with, not much threat on the scoreboard. So Conestoga is probably getting more relaxed here. Confidence is building, momentum is building too, but Upper Darby really needs to do something to combat this.
And we're not saying it's impossible. I mean, Conestoga did get 3 goals within basically 20 minutes of the first half. Upper Darby just really needs to change their strategy right now, have a team meeting and really discuss what needs to change for that to happen, because at this rate, Conestoga will definitely score more goals as they stay in Upper Darby's half.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how the situation looks at halftime. But right now, Upper Darby has things they can work on maybe. Positioning, playmaking, strategizing. I don't know, we'll have to see, but failed attack from Conestoga. Goes right over the goal. Upper Darby, again, shutting down that attack successfully. Tensions are high. Upper Darby with another goal kick. They need to get it onto Conestoga's half if they want to do anything. Conestoga has been so good with those counterattacks, intercepting the ball at midfield, maybe back in their half, and turning it around so quick. Upper Darby doesn't really have much time to respond, just as we see here. Just as I mentioned, a little bit of a cramping up on the position. Upper Darby able to send it back. Conestoga maintains possession. Getting it back into their half, relaxing for a little bit. Resting up for the next counterattack, which I assume will come just now, just as I say they do. Number 1, Peyton McCall, dribbling it up the right wing for Conestoga, looking for a cross inward. That's what she finds. Cannot find anyone close to the goal, but Does rebound out, maybe to Ryan Jennings, it looks like. Kept in bounds. Now it's on the left side for Conestoga. And again, with another attack. The pressure has been ruthless for Conestoga. Again, shot after shot, attack after attack, and that's going to be another one for Conestoga. Looks like it was number 1 Peyton McCall on that one. Beautiful play from Conestoga. Kelvin, what did you see there?
I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, but the Upper Darby players almost look a little too relaxed every single goal when they're chasing that ball. They seem a little too, just too nice. They need to be a little more aggressive with getting that possession and getting it onto Conestoga's side. I mean, when the goalie kicks, really the placement of the Conestoga players can tell you a whole story. They don't stand all the way back on their side of the field. They stand near midfield, and you'll see that when we get another goal kick. Try to notice like where they are standing. It really tells a story about what advantage Conestoga has right now.
Yeah, I mean, Conestoga is performing very well. Maybe Upper Darby could take some notes. As Calvin said, positioning is key here. Conestoga is spreading out, making the most of their players in their space to give them the best advantage. Another thing we've seen is chemistry. Playing as a whole team has been huge for Conestoga, whether it's coordinating attacks, positioning, or other things. Conestoga is playing it very well, which is allowing them to make the perfect plays that they need to make to get these goals. That has gotten them to that 4-0 score. Super successful play by Conestoga so far. Beautiful soccer. Hopefully Upper Darby can improve a little bit, but we're seeing some improvements so far. Upper Darby with the ball at midfield. Briefly in Conestoga's half. It's back to Upper Darby's though. A chance there for a shot by Conestoga, but a little bit risky. The goalie about to pick it up. Looks like we're back to square one, back in Upper Darby's half. They need to get it out of there. Super dangerous for Upper Darby, but a huge chance for Conestoga again. Conestoga bringing it back. It's at midfield now. Looking maybe to make another play. Keep continuing to apply that pressure. And I think that's really one of the strong suits of Conestoga. Regardless of the stamina, regardless of their positioning, Conestoga has been able to squeeze out counterattack after counterattack, which has really led them to this dominating performance that they've put on so far. It's looking like a Conestoga throw-in really deep into Upper Darby's half. This could function almost as a corner kick, but we'll see. Maybe they'll opt for a closer one, focusing more on passing to get it inside, but subs coming in for Conestoga. As I mentioned before, stamina is key. Conestoga is going to bring in those new players, bring in those fresh legs, keep energy high, keep stamina high. That's really going to be crucial. Upper Darby doesn't have a super deep bench, so they don't have the same advantages as Conestoga. But we'll have to see how they fare. Ball high in the air. Nice header from Upper Darby. Getting the ball out of their half. They get it past midfield, but Conestoga intercepts it. That has been a huge part of their game. Just shutting down Upper Darby's offense attacks. Upper Darby facing so much pressure, doesn't have much room to work with to make any attacks of their own. But Conestoga passing it up the side. Number 6, Maddie Park with the cross into the center. Conestoga just outside of the goalie box. Brings it in, probably looking for another cross. Pace is slowing down a tiny bit, but it's back in the box. And back out. Pinballing around in Upper Darby's half. Super unpredictable so far. Bouncing around, but Upper Darby's definitely looking to get it out of there. Goes to the sidelines, and that's going to be a Conestoga ball. Calvin, we've seen a little bit of slow in pace and stamina. What do you think is causing that?
I mean, I think Upper Darby is just, I'm sorry to say it, but just, again, still a little too relaxed. But I think also Conestoga is starting to slow down, realizing that they have that buffer, that safety net that you mentioned, 4-0, 20 minutes down. until the half. And I really think that is factoring into them slowing down just a little bit. But notice how they're still staying in Upper Darby's half. They're not letting the ball really reach their half. They're just sort of slowing down the pacing and that aggression into the goal.
Yeah, for sure. I think both players on both teams are getting both mentally and physically tired. We're deep into this half now, and it's definitely not a cool day. Heat's going to be a factor here too. But again, Conestoga, as you just mentioned, bringing it up the left side, not giving Upper Darby any room to breathe. A shot goes off. There's got to be a foul called. It's going to be Upper Darby with the ball in their goalie box again. We've seen so many repeats of this. Upper Darby with the ball in their half. In their box, excuse me. Getting up to around midfield. Conestoga recuperating. And then looking for another counterattack. If Upper Darby wants to make any change in this, wants to get some points off the board, they're going to have to break that pattern. But Conestoga doing a great job, staying consistent, doing what they do best, applying that pressure. And as we speak, another counterattack coming on. Bringing up to midfield. Conestoga formulating another attack. Gets it up there. Number 9, Rhea Mishra. But a whistle is blown. And again in Upper Darby's favor. We're seeing a lot of those. A little surprising, but that's going to be a timeout called. Not sure which team called it, but Calvin, we're deep into this game. We're seeing a lot of things playing out. How do you think this is going to impact the rest of the game, or what have you seen so far?
I mean, just the score itself at 4-0 right now really sets the tone. Upper Darby needs to get at least a goal or two just to claw their way back just a little bit into the half. If they don't manage to get a goal by the half, it's going to be really hard managing to get 1, 2, 3, or even 4 goals in the second half. Additionally, I think they have a lot of scattered play right now. They're not really moving as a unit. They're not communicating as a unit, while Conestoga, I've seen a lot of pointing, a lot of communication within those team players, and I think that's what's contributing to their success. Also, like, if you're sitting in midfield in the stands right now, I mean, your neck's probably pretty tired from craning always to the right now, because it's always, the ball has always been on the right side of the field, and I think even the people in the stand are getting a little tired from the ball always being in that half.
Yeah, I think those are all valid points. Maybe to shift a bit away from the negative onto the positive. Conestoga is doing a great job here, keeping pressure on. And as you mentioned, the communication. Their team is functioning as a unit, which is really crucial. No matter how good one, maybe 2 of your players is, if your team can't communicate and work as one, you won't get anything done. And given the amount of attacks Conestoga has put on, given the amount of opportunities, Upper Darby is doing a good job at mitigating the amount of goals coming out of that. I mean, considering the ball has been in their half for so long, only let in 4 goals, I think speaks volumes. Again, we're getting back out there. Conestoga with high confidence, high momentum, and still a pretty high level of ferocity, still hunting for those goals. Never giving up, maybe looking for a 5th or even a 6th this half. 18 minutes left. I think Conestoga really here is trying to avoid stoppages, trying to run out the clock, trying to get to halftime while they're ahead. Upper Darby really on the opposite end of the spectrum, looking to do something here, get some points on the board, make some change, improve their play style, whatever they can do to better themselves and get the advantage before halftime. Far kick into Conestoga's half. Great start off of this timeout. Great way to start out. Upper Darby bringing it up the right wing. And that's going to be a stoppage. Goes into the sidelines. Almost a throw-in, but that's going to be a free kick for Upper Darby on that right wing. Looking to cross it into the box, which they do. Looking for a header opportunity, but Conestoga is able to get it. Conestoga gets it outside of the box. But Upper Darby with some great pressure, which we haven't seen yet. Shot comes off, but Conestoga deflects it. Upper Darby with some great pressure here.
I mean, Toby, I don't know what they talked about in that timeout, but it seems to be really working. This is the first time where my neck isn't so tired from looking to the left.
Yeah, I mean, great play so far. Number 21 for Upper Darby, Amelia Constantine. Really doing a good job. I'm seeing a lot of hustle. A great turnaround just off that timeout. Hopefully Upper Darby can continue this momentum, change the tone that we saw before, and really keep Conestoga maybe in their half for a change. Upper Darby intercepts the goal kick, but Conestoga looking for a counterattack on that left side. Gets up to around midfield. That's going to be a Conestoga throw-in. Bit of a change in tides here. Conestoga has the ball at midfield. Looking maybe to bring it back to recuperate. Again, as I mentioned before, I think they're trying to run down the clock at the moment. They're up by 4. Around 17 minutes left in this half. Their main priority is to run that time down, chip away at the clock, and I think that'll be their fastest path to success. But that doesn't mean they can't go for attacks. Conestoga bringing it up the right side, cross into the middle. No one can get there on time, but they have that ball on the right. Pressure is non-stop from Conestoga. With the ball in the box, shot coming off, but Upper Darby able to save it. Beautiful save there. And again, another great shutdown of a Conestoga attack.
Conestoga has had so many goal opportunities here. I'm actually a bit surprised that they haven't had a few more goals in the past few minutes. We're now just 6 minutes from the half, and here comes another goal opportunity for them.
Sent high just above the crossbar. Unfortunate for Conestoga, but that's good news for Upper Darby. And as I said before, I mean, this is a tiring game. 4 goals already so early into the game. There's a lot of movement going on here, a lot of running back and forth. So players on both teams, we've seen subs come out. Players on both teams are probably getting tired. That's probably contributing to the slowing pace.
Yeah, and that heat definitely is a factor too. It's 81 degrees right now, and expect that temperature to really continue over the next few hours as well.
Contrary to just off the timeout, the ball is loitering in that Upper Darby box. Unfortunate for them, but again, good news from Conestoga, making the game a little bit easier. But another goal kick and another opportunity for Upper Darby. Great opportunity here, looking to get it into the other half. We've seen so much of our playtime, especially before the timeout, on Upper Darby's half. It'd be a breath of fresh air to see a really good counterattack, maybe even a goal for Upper Darby. But back to the moment at hand. Conestoga keeping it in the box. Shot goes wide from Rhea Mishra, but good attempt. Pressure is pressure, and pressure makes diamonds. So Calvin, we're seeing a little bit of a slowing pace. I think both teams, Conestoga is getting a little bit more aggressive, and I think Upper Darby may be getting a little tired. Do you think that's going to continue into the second half, or will that break be enough to bring them back?
I think for the first half of the second half, that break will be vital for them to get some opportunities for attacks, but with that heat and them being a little more tired from running back and forth, it could really demoralize them the second half of the second half. And so we'll just have to see how all those factors come in, and if they are able to get 1 or 2 more attacks, because without those attacks there really is no chance of them clinching a comeback or victory.
The ball pinballing around at midfield gets onto Conestoga's side. A whistle blown, and that looks like it's going to be Upper Darby, ball. And yeah, as I was talking about before, that break at halftime, that's going to be vital to get energy back, to communicate, strategize. Big things for both teams, and again, a fresh start. a half, remember, is only half of a game. If 4, 5, maybe even 6 goals are scored in the first half, the same can be said for the second half, maybe even the other team. But we'll see how that plays out. Conestoga with another attack. Kimberly playing it up to Mishra. Now with the ball in the left side of the goalie box, but nothing formulates.
Upper Darby had a good starting place there, but they just weren't able to get it into that box, and they really need to be able to do that if they want to have an opportunity to score. A few subs here coming in.
And that ball did come off that Upper Darby player, so it's going to be another corner for Conestoga. Really keeping that pressure on. Those headers are going to be crucial here. If Conestoga can get that 5th goal, that might seal the deal for this half and set the momentum coming into the next one. Conestoga with a high ball. Comes off Conestoga foot, I think, but Upper Darby able to recuperate. Looking for a pretty far punt here. Maybe just a rolling pass. Upper Darby with the ball. Nice stamina coming out of the box, but Conestoga back with it. Off the post and off the goalie. Luckily, nothing formulates, but that's looking like a corner for Conestoga. We've seen these happen so much. What do you think Upper Darby can do to mitigate the number of corners that Conestoga has against?
They really need to get Conestoga out of going into these phases of attack. They need to go on the offensive. They need to stop doing these short passes because Conestoga is able to defend and even intercept the ball. This is the 3rd goal opportunity that Conestoga has had over the last few minutes, and it is stopped again. Just shows that Upper Darby's goalie may be able to stop these goals, but eventually Conestoga will be able to get through, and they really need to change something here so we don't have that many corner kicks.
Beautiful save by Upper Darby that I wanted to highlight. Came off the crossbar. Beautiful save. But again, Conestoga right back at it. Something that Upper Darby really needs to work on, but I think as before mentioned, the corners really are coming from Upper Darby going really to shutting the ball out to the corner, out to the sidelines, or back to the goal line. Smart strategy for Upper Darby because it does stop those opportunities, but gives them more problems to work with. And it's looking like, again, another corner kick for Conestoga. Less than 10 minutes left in this half. Conestoga not giving up. Corner after corner, it does not matter. They will proceed and still hunt for those goals. If Conestoga can sneak in a header here and put their 5th point on the board, deficit will grow, but Conestoga's safety net will too.
What I noticed in that last play was that instead of Upper Darby pressuring Conestoga back into their half, they were pressuring them off to the sides, which would result in what you said, Toby, in so many corner kicks. I'll just have to wait and see if that is true for a lot of the plays here, but just from that last play, they were pressuring Conestoga out into those corners.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out, but Upper Darby with another goal kick, as we've seen so often. Pretty large opportunity here. Maybe they can get it to midfield, maybe even Conestoga's half. Maybe launch a counterattack, but Conestoga able to intercept it. Number 6, Maddie Park, with a nice reception off of that Upper Darby goal kick. Back to Upper Darby's defense, and as I was talking about before, sending it to the sidelines. Conestoga tips it, so that's going to be an Upper Darby throw-in. Deep into their half, so not much to work with. Conestoga gets the ball, looking to play it inside and maybe get it inside the box. Plays it a tiny bit back, looking to recuperate here. Playing it to the left side. And again, Maddie Park on that right wing has been crucial in these last couple plays. Looking to shoot the ball inside. Wish they do. No goal comes out of it, though. Upper Darby with that goal, with that ball, excuse me, in their box. Calvin, there's less than 8 minutes on this clock. What do you think will happen as that time boils down?
I think Conestoga is really going to stall the clock, really make sure that the ball doesn't go onto their side because they have the capabilities to do it, and most of them know that they do. And so they're just going to pass it around like you are seeing right now. Pass it back to the goalie, then back to themselves. Really just stall that clock with just 7.5 minutes remaining and stop Upper Darby from really advancing for any goal opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I think Conestoga is not looking for much change here. As you said, they're up by 4. No stress at the moment. No threat on the scoreboard. Maybe some threats physically, and maybe they're looking for another goal. As they do, they send up the ball to that left wing. Unable to get a cross in. It's sent out of bounds past the goal line. And again, another Upper Darby goal kick. So as we're coming to a close, we've seen a splendid performance from Conestoga. Great on the pressure, great on the scoreboard. Great just overall in the field. What do you think is causing that?
I think that momentum from those first few goals really led to those other goals because they had that good momentum. I don't want to just skip over Upper Darby's sort of accomplishments. They were able to stop a lot of Conestoga's goal opportunities there, especially that goalie with some good saves there as well. But they really need to get that ball to the other side to really make anything big happen.
That's true. On the topic of goalies, Conestoga has not seen much, but positioning still great as always. Conestoga able to shut down a small attack, but deflected off an Upper Darby player's foot. Back in Conestoga's hands, though. Back in their half. Again, playing pretty passively. Just around 5 minutes left on the clock. Upper Darby still with that passion, though. Still with that energy. Ball's at around midfield. Upper Darby looking to do something about that. Clash for the ball. Conestoga gets it, though. Now up on the left wing. Players about even. Upper Darby has a bit more, but Conestoga has the positioning advantage. And it's out of bounds. Again, Upper Darby goal kick. Or actually, I stand corrected. That's going to be a corner. Calvin, there have been so many corners and so many goal kicks on Upper Darby's side of the field. For both teams, what can they do to capitalize on their opportunities that they're given?
Well, obviously, for Conestoga, they can try to really get those goals in. They've had so many goal opportunities from both corners and those goal kicks to get it in here. As you can see, another goal opportunity is stopped. For Upper Darby, they need to use these sorts of opportunities to punt the ball far enough that they are able to attack. With just 4.5 minutes left, they really need to do something here, or else it's not going to be good for them for the second half.
That's true. Punting it pretty far is crucial, but as we've seen, the goalie did get subbed out. This could be a backup goalie, but even if so, she's doing splendid. Great saves across the board for her. But again, yeah, punting it, maybe kicking it a bit farther to midfield, maybe even to Conestoga's side would be helpful. But again, Conestoga with another counterattack, bringing it up that right side. Number 18, MJ Borowski. Crucial in that play. Conestoga has it in the box, but it's shot a bit too far right.
I almost feel like I want to start tallying the amount of goal opportunities they've had. I mean, there's been so many, it's hard to count. I've lost track.
That's true. Conestoga is doing a really good job with setting themselves up for success. I think they are a bit more laid back now. They're up by 4. Not much has to be done. Therefore, Conestoga, I think, dialing it back a little bit. But again, keeping that pressure on. Conestoga with another shot on goal, but Upper Darby able to recuperate. Another punting opportunity, but Conestoga with a wall of defenders in front of midfield. It's going to be hard for Upper Darby to counter that. Now Upper Darby has some sort of a chance, but hugely outnumbered. Bringing it back, trying to get more control, but it's intercepted by Conestoga. Now up on the right side, excuse me. Again, trying to get it up to MJ Borowski, but nothing formulates out as it's on the side. That's going to be a throw-in for Upper Darby. Less than 3 minutes on the clock here, folks. Not much time to work with, but Upper Darby isn't giving up. Still fighting on their left wing, trying to get it up, but just don't have the personnel to be there. Conestoga bringing it back. Playing a bit more passively, trying to keep that ball movement continuous up until the very last minute. Right now, we passed the 2-minute mark. Conestoga still going. Trying to bring it up into the box, which they do. Shot opportunity, and Conestoga gets it. That's looking like number 19, Julia Rick again.
I mean, that is pretty impressive. 5th goal in just 1/2 of the game. I'm excited to see what's up for next half. For Upper Darby, this is just another demoralizing goal because now it's down. They are down by 5 goals, and that is 5 goals that they can't afford to lose.
Yeah, I mean, the deficit is tough. Just under 2 minutes. It's going to be a little tricky here, but we'll see how it plays out. Upper Darby, not much room to work with. I was mistaken on that last goal. It was number 13, not 19, but regardless, beautiful performance from Conestoga. Getting it back into their half, kind of recuperating. 1.5 minutes left. Not much can be done unless they want to strive for that 6th goal. I mean, as we've seen, Conestoga's ambition knows no ends. We've seen attack after attack. Pressure is staying on. But Conestoga kind of just completing a circuit here. Passing it around. Chipping away at that clock, as I mentioned before. Conestoga still not stopping. Trying to get it up that left side. Looks like Maddie Michalik up on that left wing. Whistle's blown though, so the play is stopped, but Upper Darby, less than 40 seconds. Intercepted by Conestoga, up in the air. Looking for a header there, but it's passed back. Conestoga, 25 seconds left on the clock, but they bring it up that left wing. Conestoga trying to look for something there, but it's hit out past the goal line. That's going to be another. It's actually going to be a corner. Obviously tipped off Upper Darby. 5 seconds left for Conestoga. Last resort here. It's hit out by Upper Darby, and that's going to be it for halftime. 0 seconds left. 5-0 for the Conestoga Pioneers. Before we head out for a halftime, do you have any closing comments, Calvin?
Yeah, I just have a list of what's happened, but that play right there was a good summary of that first half. We saw a lot of corner kicks. We also saw a lot of goal opportunities for Conestoga that were knocked out by Upper Darby. Conestoga is leading Upper Darby 5-0 as we enter halftime. 10 minutes until the second half, and we will see you there.
After school hours. I'm going. I have to go pick up Marco.
there a way to make this less painful?
Let me think. You can adjust where it is on your ear, or you can like.
I think I opened it as far, like it doesn't do this anymore, does it?
Sorry, repeat that.
It doesn't open like this anymore. You can't loosen it. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it.
I don't think you can loosen it either, but you can. If it's bothering you, you could like maybe this time, like this round, like switch it to your other ear.
Yeah, I switched it to finger, but I'll just switch it back and forth.
Or maybe you could also like slightly adjust where it is on like on the ear, like move it a little bit up a bit,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit like side a bit. Not too much though. You still need to hear them.
They'll swap sides, right?
Sorry?
But the teams will swap sides, correct?
I think so.
Okay, so I'll cut a little more.
Yeah. I kind of messed up on one of the replays. I was like, please score. I need to redeem myself.
Sorry.
That's fine. Who's watching anyway? They only need like 2 to 3. You don't need that. That's also true. Sometimes I lost track of it.
No, I did that because I just
Sometimes I think they will like go with the triangle players and hard to make it like walk because like that happened twice in like the first 10 minutes while I was on.
yeah. I'm so far away that this yellow and white jersey blend into the white wall, you know? I can't see. Wait, this shit.
Massive amount of blow off. Where it's on YouTube. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
A couple games I think you get like 2 to 3 under.
It's at 1,000. Yeah.
For what? Wait, what? We should donate some.
It's probably like Cariola too.
Oh no, it's basket.
There's 0 likes.
Why am I here? How did I get here?
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of this action-packed game. 5-0 is the score now. Pretty one-sided game for Conestoga, but Upper Darby looking to make a comeback here. Coming off the first half, we saw Conestoga with a lot of possession, keeping the ball in that Upper Darby half, and again, keeping up that pressure. Probably looking to continue that. Upper Darby, maybe a little bit of the opposite, so not so much possession. Looks to make some changes. Calvin, what are your thoughts?
I think they need to really get out of the loop of always being on their side, always facing those corner kicks and trying to stop Conestoga's goal opportunities. I think it needs to be the opposite this time in this half. They really need to push for those goal opportunities that they desperately need at this point. Again, the score is 5-0 right now, so they really need to put at least something so they are back on the board.
That's true. Conestoga also will probably be looking for more goals, despite their already not set in stone, but set lead. It's going to be tough for Upper Darby. As we saw in the first half, it was tough for them to keep possession, as Conestoga really just is an aggressive team. They're looking for that possession, trying to get their hands on that ball, but I believe in Upper Darby. We have a whole nother half, and as I said before, we've only gone through half the game, so that means there's another half to come back. We're looking to start up soon. Conestoga now on the right, Upper Darby on the left. Conestoga going to start with it. Calvin, how do you think Upper Darby will change their playstyle to adapt?
I think they're going to have better communication, and I think they're going to have better accuracy when passing, and maybe perhaps pass a little bit further down the field, because those short passes, Conestoga was easily able to intercept them, and from there Conestoga would really just have those goal opportunities and those corner kicks, as you said, in the open.
Whistle pretty close off the bat, and that's going to be in favor of Upper Darby. Free kick here for them, and as you mentioned before, I mean, there's a lot of things that Upper Darby can work on. A lot of that is just in practice, though. There's still things you can improve on in the game pretty fast. Communication, like you said, is one of them. If you can just talk with your team, figure out a strategy, what you're going to do, you can play 10 times better. Conestoga looking like they already know what they're going to do. Formulating a play up the right side. Upper Darby stops it with a zinger. Back to Conestoga's right back corner. That's going to be a throw-in for Conestoga. Upper Darby putting some pressure on, looking to do something about that, but it's going to go straight out. And on the flip side, that's going to be an Upper Darby throw-in. Conestoga juggling it a bit, and it's at midfield. Looking to cross that line. Get their first attack of the half, which they do. But Upper Darby able to deflect it back out to midfield, and that's what Calvin was talking about. Getting that ball far up the field is going to be crucial. A slide tackle, and that's going to be a whistle blown.
I like the changes I'm seeing with Upper Darby. We have more players advancing onto Conestoga's side of the field, which means they're at least easier, able to defend their half as well as advance into Conestoga's half.
That's true. I mean, I've seen some great improvements from Upper Darby. We're seeing them right now push them back a little bit, make some advances. They're really improving their positioning, getting into that Conestoga half. Just putting the pressure on. Conestoga, though, doing a great job too, bringing that ball up the right wing, looking for a cross to the center. Conestoga has the people they need to get there. Number 16, Jenna Khalil, looking for a shot inside the box, but cannot connect. Too high. And again, back at square one, Upper Darby with the ball. Looking, as Calvin said, to shoot it pretty far. We did see them deflect the ball all the way back to midfield, which would help loads with their counterattack. We'll see what they can do here, though.
I think Upper Darby's aggression now is good. They just need to formulate a plan. They can't just play defense by kicking the ball out or kicking the ball somewhere down the line. They need to kick it towards one of their teammates so they can actually formulate a plan and attack together instead of just one person going at it and hoping for the best.
That's true, and I was emphasizing this last time. Even if you have a lot of great players, which both teams do, they have some really strong individuals. If you guys can't work as one team, work as one whole, you won't really be that successful. That's why playmaking, communication is so important. And that's really what's going to help whoever the winning team is succeed. Now, another corner kick for Conestoga. We saw this so much last half, looking like it's going to continue, which really is going to be a major component for the outcome of this game. It's shot in. Great opportunity for a header there. Nothing connects. Conestoga hits it a little left of the goal. Bounces off the foot a little bit wrong, and Upper Darby with another goal kick. We saw these so much last game too. So, Calvin, we're seeing some similarities, but how do you think, have you seen, or what are your predictions for how this half will be different?
I think Conestoga will see similar advances. We'll still see Conestoga sort of advancing and getting those corner kicks. But I also think that Upper Darby, with those further punts and with that aggression and possibly formulating a plan, they will be able to get a few goal opportunities this half and possibly even score and get their first goal of the game.
That's true. I mean, we've already seen it. Upper Darby has improved their positioning, getting more aggressive, getting their players into Conestoga's half, which already off the bat, great improvement from last half. Conestoga doing the same though, already with a really successful try, or at least an attempt of an attack, getting it in the box, shot off, but not close, or at least not close enough. Conestoga bringing it up the left side. Emily Hoffman on the wing there, trying to cross it to the center, but blocked by Upper Darby. I mean, as we've said before, although Conestoga has a lot of points on the board, compared to the amount of opportunities they've had, I mean, it shows. Upper Darby's defense is decent. They're shutting down those attacks, whether they're getting, you know, a corner kick, a throw-in, maybe just turning around completely. Conestoga, looks like it's going to be a goal. Number 1, Peyton McCall. Beautiful shot from her. Corner, not even going for a header, but straight into the goal. You don't see a lot of that, but really beautiful from her. Calvin, what did you see there? What from both sides?
I think that Conestoga was preparing for a header, but the ball was just straight at the goal, and it was also a miscalculation of the goalie there and the few players inside the goal. They just couldn't get a grasp of the ball, which led it to go into the goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky there. Maybe there's some deception. I think Conestoga did do that intentionally. I mean, it takes a lot of skill, but I think it is doable. And if anybody has the skills to pull it off, it's Conestoga. We've seen a really strong team here. A lot of good play. That's going to be a Conestoga ball, I think. Now Conestoga with a pretty big advantage. They're in the lead. 6-0 right now. Huge safety blanket if they so need. But again, keeping up with the pressure. It's up on the right side now. Looking for a cross into the center, but nice deflection from Upper Darby's keeper. That was Fure Abulaman on the right wing looking for the cross, and she did. But cannot connect with anybody on the Conestoga team. And another cross. We've seen this so many times. Calvin, how do you think this has contributed to both the score and just the overall tone of the game?
I think because of these sort of corner kicks, Upper Darby has really been focused on keeping their defense intact. They haven't really even thought about their offense, and they really need to sort of switch gears and really change gears so they are focusing on that offense and making sure that the ball sort of goes toward the right side of the field, towards Conestoga's side.
Yeah, for sure. I think they have been a major component here. Conestoga not able to formulate a goal off of that kick, but a good try. Shots came off, and again, I mean, they're just back with another one. Upper Darby with a nice punch out, but it's going to be back in Conestoga's hands again. Cross into the center, and a header by Conestoga. But it looks like there's another whistle. Looks like there's a stoppage for the goalie. We'll see what happens. It's possible that there's another sub that we see come in. That'll be quite unfortunate for Upper Darby. Conestoga confused at the moment. Stoppage in play here, but while we have the time to talk, Calvin, how do you feel about this second half?
So far, I mean, there haven't been a lot of improvements for Upper Darby. We're still seeing those corner kicks. We're still seeing Conestoga score and have those goal opportunities. Conestoga is moving as a unit while Upper Darby is still sort of fractured. Some parts are starting to come together, but they really need to start connecting more as a team rather than individuals.
I mean, yeah, we are talking about maybe the shortcomings that Upper Darby has had, but it's really hard when you're going against a team like Conestoga. Very successful, I think very united team. Very, very good chemistry going on right now. And again, their defense is great, hard to penetrate. Their attacks are great, hard to stop. So, I mean, overall, performance from both teams has been great, but pretty large stoppage in play here.
Seems to be something wrong with the goalie, perhaps.
Yeah, something, but I think not something to dwell on. We're paused. Around 33 minutes left until the end of the game. And again, looking like another goalie sub for Upper Darby. Players clapping for the strength of that Upper Darby player. Has to come off, but unfortunate for them, but we're looking probably at another goalie substitute. And as we saw from that last half, even though maybe that Upper Darby player's main position wasn't goalie, we saw some great successes. Great play from Conestoga and Upper Darby. We're going to get back into the action momentarily, though. Calvin, as we're getting back, what do you hope to see here?
I really hope to see fewer corner kicks for Conestoga. Not that I'm wishing bad on them, but I really want to see that Upper Darby is pushing the ball further into Conestoga's territory. I don't know if that goal sub particularly helped them in any way, but we'll see here. It looks like Upper Darby will be punting again. They also need, speaking of punts, a longer punt into midfield like we saw in the beginning of the second half. That really will be crucial in determining how the second half will go. We have 32 minutes and 29 seconds left in the second half as that timer is resumed.
Yeah, I mean, as you're talking about, like, I would also like to see less corners from Conestoga. And I think for a different reason. They are a very strong team. They have great playmaking abilities. They have great players. So I think more complex plays, as maybe break the pattern of repetition that we've seen, would be exciting to see. But again, another goal kick from Upper Darby. We've seen a lot of these. A lot of them have played out the same. But we're going for a ground pass there. Ball's up in the air. Conestoga looking to intercept it. They do with a header. Upper Darby has control, but maybe only momentarily. Sent out to the sidelines. Upper Darby fighting for it on that left side, but so is Conestoga. Looking for a cross into the center. Conestoga looking for a shot, but nothing connects. Ball is played out to the left side. That's looking like another Upper Darby goal kick. I mean, we saw a little bit of action there. A lot of fighting from both teams. So it's evident that both teams are still fighting for this. Both teams are still ferocious. They still got stamina. They still got something left in them. Hopefully that keeps up for the rest of the game. The rest 30 or so minutes that we have left. Upper Darby throw-in, looking to change the pace of recent events. Conestoga now back with it again. At the midfield, looking for a play up the right side. Going up to Jenna Khalil. Passing it back, but a little bit less action that we've seen recently. I think Conestoga is really laying it back a little. They're up by 6-0. Not much stress. to do anything. But again, play continues. Upper Darby with another throw-in. Getting a bit of deja vu here. It's going to be not super deep of a throw-in. Again, off that Upper Darby player. So now, that's going to be Conestoga throw-in. Calvin, what have you seen here in the play recently?
I mean, I've seen a lot of similarities between the second half and the first half, and I'm not sure that's a good thing. That half was meant for Upper Darby to just sort of regroup and change their plan, because obviously their initial plan didn't work as they were down 5-0, and now they're down 6-0, and it doesn't look like their strategy, at least for the most part, has changed a lot. But however, as I say that, that punt does go to midfield. It does need to go a little bit further, though, if they want anything to happen as of this point.
That's true. Upper Darby really is in a bit of a pickle here. They're down by 6. I mean, that's really just a hard situation to get out of. Even the 5-0 at halftime, this is worse, but I mean, with the miracle, they could pull something off. Conestoga looking for a cross in, but defended pretty well by Upper Darby. Came off the Upper Darby player, so again, we're going to see a corner kick for Conestoga. We've seen them be so prevalent. And so many times, I mean, it has ended up unsuccessful. So I think I would like to see Conestoga maybe get ahead here and get that goal from more of an aerial strategy. But Upper Darby successfully recuperates. I mean, yeah, nice goalie play there and a nice punt. Conestoga able to get control. Some good playmaking here. Conestoga has it in the middle, trying to get it into the goalie box, but they just don't have the personnel. Upper Darby blocking the Conestoga player there for the goal kick. Subs coming out for Upper Darby. I mean, as I was talking about in the beginning, stamina is going to be key here. I mean, halftime did provide a little bit of a rest for them, but it's still tricky. On a hot day like this, and the amount of movement that's going on here, players are still getting worn out. Conestoga with another attack on that right wing. Trying to cross it in, they do. And that's a goal maybe for Conestoga. If so, that was a beautiful, nice cross in from Puree. Abulaman. I mean, overall, generally cool play. Calvin, what did you see there?
I saw a lot of great teamwork, a lot of good communication, that cross back into the center and into the goal. I think that was just excellent teamwork by all the players on Conestoga, and sort of a failure for communication on Upper Darby's part. They really need to get that defense working if they want to do anything with this game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Upper Darby is really in a difficult situation here. Conestoga kind of in the clear. 7-0 lead right now. I'm assuming they're going to play more into a passive kind of play style, not going, you know, too aggressive. But as I say that, they do go for something. Shot coming off too far right from Chena Khalil for the Pioneers, right outside of the box. I mean, nice attempt when you're not under too much pressure, but maybe we'll see some more in the box shots coming out as we progress into the second half. 26 minutes left on the clock. Upper Darby has to do something about that. Conestoga making another play on that right wing. We've seen that so much. And, I mean, I'm getting a little bit of flashbacks to the first part of that game where Conestoga just kept the ball on Upper Darby's half, and that's what we've been seeing recently. 2 goals coming out of it, too, in this half. Maybe not with the magnitude as the first, but, again, another shot in the box. That's what I'd like to see. Upper Darby with a nice save, though. Overall, good back and forth recently. But, I mean, Upper Darby does need to get it into Conestoga's half if they want to do anything. as I say that, beautiful attempt. Nice pass in, and they do get it into their half. Just don't have the personnel to be there. I may be wrong. Upper Darby has it in Conestoga's half. Shot out to the side there. Calvin, that was crucial to get it into Conestoga's half. A, do you think this will continue? And B, how is it valuable?
Well, I think at this rate, it will continue if they work as a team. And right now we can see them throw it in. And this is really a crucial moment for Upper Darby. And it looks like they lose that moment as Conestoga regains possession of the ball. Very unfortunate for them, as that would have been a great opportunity to at least attempt to score a goal. Hopefully we do see more of those attempts to go forward, as we are seeing now into Conestoga's half. And it is back to Upper Darby's possession.
Yeah, 2 Upper Darby throws in a row. A lot of stoppages in play recently, but not so many corners and goal kicks, which is nice to see. Conestoga bringing it back to their goalie. A little bit of a risky play, but first action that goalie has seen in a while. Upper Darby doing a good job of keeping it in Conestoga's half. Unfortunately, that's going to be a throw-in for Conestoga. Upper Darby's attack is foiled. But now switching sides, that's going to be a throw-in for Upper Darby. We've seen a little bit of back and forth here. Conestoga has the ball. Upper Darby has gotten the ball. Big change from what it was before. Conestoga maybe relieving a little bit of that pressure, or maybe it's just Upper Darby doing a good job of fighting back. Regardless, nice variety, breath of fresh air to see. But Conestoga again looking for another attack. Bit of physicality there at the midfield, but play continues. Conestoga looking for that play on the right wing. Furay Apulaman again looking for a shot. Beautiful, but saved by Upper Darby. Great attempt there. I mean, Conestoga had a lot of room to work with. They had the initiative. They had the personnel. They had the space. The shot is blocked, though. Now Conestoga, after that punt, back in possession. Back in their half, looking for a counterattack. Conestoga bringing it up that right side, as we've seen so often. Looking for a cross here in the middle. They find it. A shot is off. But again, Upper Darby is able to save it. We've seen a lot of saves from Upper Darby. Great work from this goalie. I think if we can see that improvement in the rest of the team, which we have. We've seen the ball getting more into that Conestoga half, but I'd love to see a goal or two come out from them in this half. So Calvin, we're deep into the second half now. Only 23-ish minutes left on the clock. What changes have you seen?
Well, I've seen Upper Darby play a lot more aggressive, and Conestoga sort of laid back, which has resulted in what you said, where we see Upper Darby sort of advance into Conestoga's half. However, they have been stopped by the goalie and Conestoga's strong defense. Also, Conestoga's momentum continues to carry them onto Upper Darby's side, which is also why they are playing so ferociously right now. And that will likely continue as we see a few subs on the field right now.
That's true. I mean, a lot going on here, as you said. As you mentioned, a bit of the shift in tides. Conestoga is keeping up that pressure, but we are seeing Upper Darby fight back, getting that ball into Conestoga's half. Really nice to see, but Conestoga, again, keeping up that pressure. Even if the tables are turning a little bit, it's still in Conestoga's favor. 7-0. Upper Darby is facing a pretty tough deficit here. Conestoga bring it up the left lane for a change. Ryan Jennings looking for a cross in the middle, but Upper Darby stops that. Amelia Constantine. Great work there, but again, that's only temporary. Conestoga still with the ball there. Conestoga still a threat. Ball brought back to midfield, still in the hands of Conestoga. Now pass back to the keeper. Conestoga, I think, really here is switching into a bit more of that mode of kind of just wasting the clock a little bit, chipping away at the time, trying to get this game over as soon as possible. But again, still looking for those goals, still looking for those advancements. Upper Darby with a nice kick in, giving them some room that we haven't seen in a bit. I like Upper Darby's positioning here, really spread out, giving themselves a lot of room to work with, a lot of room for playmaking. The ball's up in the air at the moment, though. Number 4, Emily Huffman for Conestoga with a nice little head there. Brings it back to Conestoga possession. Bring it up the right side is Conestoga. Looking for a pass in the middle here, trying to avoid a corner. And Upper Darby able to save it. So Calvin, we have seen some action move over, shift over to that Conestoga side. Upper Darby, I think, is improving. Their pressure is increasing. The aggression is increasing. What do you think caused that?
Well, I think, as you said, the players are more spaced out. Upper Darby's players are more spaced out, which gives them more room to work with, as well as to get those longer passes in and have generally more flexibility when it comes to these sorts of situations and moving up and down the field. And if they continue to sort of spread out, unlike the first half where we saw them sort of clump together and sort of fractured, they could really get something going here as we see a timeout, perhaps.
Yeah, timeout called by one of the teams, and little break for both teams, I think, which will help both teams increasing in activity. Energy is ramping up a little bit. It's good to see the players having a little rest, a little room to breathe.
Yeah, and you can see on the field cameras that there is a little bit of shade from the stands here, which should help players cool down just a little bit as it is very hot outside with the sun out.
So both teams are huddled up right now, Calvin. Conestoga probably just trying to stay consistent, but what do you think is being said in that Upper Darby huddle right now?
I think probably not to lose their motivation to continue playing. I think just because looking at the score being so high right now for Conestoga, it shouldn't stop Upper Darby from trying to get a goal or two or even just keeping the ball in their half. You can see right now that Upper Darby coach discussing plans with their players. And also, you can see that the players are pretty exhausted from running up and down and defending their own goals. So hopefully they are talking about getting more possession and having more stamina in terms of getting that ball up into Conestoga's half. Toby?
I mean, yeah, a lot of room to improve for Upper Darby. As you said, I mean, communication is key. Playing as a team is key. I think that's one of the strong suits for Conestoga. They have some great individual players that we've seen shine so far, but as a whole, they're working together. They're making those good plays. They're crossing it in, getting it in. Even on corners, really well-coordinated teams can really be successful. So I think if Upper Darby strives for that, maybe builds up some chemistry, builds up a plan right now. Only 20 minutes left in this half, so not a whole lot of room to work with, but Upper Darby still has the opportunity to get those points up on the board. And again, it's early in the season. This game isn't too crucial to win, but I would like to see see some great play coming out still from both teams, Conestoga and Upper Darby.
Yeah, and if Upper Darby doesn't really change their strategy, which I doubt will happen, then Conestoga can just lay back, pass the ball back and forth, and really stall out the clock. Because, as you said, there are only 20 minutes left in this half, and Upper Darby really needs to do something and change something fast to make something work.
Yeah, it's really more of a waiting game for Conestoga here. I mean, they're up by 7, 20 minutes left. I think they're pretty confident in their status here in the game. So I'm expecting, as Calvin said, a little bit of wasting time. Chipping away at that clock, trying to run it down, maybe passing in their half. Maybe some more play with the goalie as well. Really good to, just keep the ball away from the other team. Try to get this game over as soon as possible. Again, 19 minutes left.
Yeah, Toby, that's right. If Conestoga just continues to stall, I mean, they have this game in the bag. But if Upper Darby plays more aggressively, then Conestoga will have to consider defense and possibly defending their goal from Upper Darby's goal opportunities.
And I mean, yeah, we have seen that recently. Upper Darby has crept into Conestoga's half, gotten some more opportunities, some crosses, maybe even getting the ball near the box. All great things, but haven't been able to punish, haven't been able to capitalize. But there, great shutdown of a Conestoga attack. Ball sent back to midfield. Conestoga has to recuperate here. But, I mean, their pressure, as we've seen throughout this entire game, has stayed constant. Attack after attack, Conestoga, I mean, just perseveres. The ball is brought back to Upper Darby's defense. A lot of Upper Darby's players surprisingly high up for the position of the ball, but Conestoga, defended by Upper Darby, deflected off their player, so that's going to be a corner for Conestoga. We've seen so many of these. Even a couple goals have come off of them. Conestoga maybe even looking for an 8th point here. Could be pretty surprising if so, and Upper Darby really trying to prevent that. Whether it's through a header, just as we saw there. I mean, great execution from Upper Darby. Conestoga still looking for goals, still looking for playtime here though, as well as Upper Darby. Ball at midfield, looking to take it up the right side, but stifled by Conestoga defense. Ball is kind of pinballing around, not sticking around, but Conestoga bringing it up the left side. Number 22, Maddie Michalek, probably, bringing it up the left side with an attempt there. Good defense from Upper Darby, and the ball goes left. It's going to be a goal kick for Upper Darby. 17 minutes left on the clock here. Kellen, what do you think the energy, the stamina levels for both teams are right now?
I mean, Conestoga seems pretty relaxed. All they have to do is keep the ball away from their half, which they are doing excellently. However, Upper Darby, I think, is just trying to make anything work, right? One of those players just has to make it past that sort of wall of Conestoga defenders, and so far that hasn't happened. So they're really just trying to punch their way through, and we'll see if that happens within the next 16 minutes or so as that clock ticks down.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's tough late into this game, both physically and mentally. Players are getting tired from the heat, from all this running. Not too many subs have come out from Upper Darby. Again, Conestoga has the benefit of a way deeper bench. So Conestoga has the advantage here, both energy and score. So things are not looking great for Upper Darby, but as I said before, they're making some good advancements into Conestoga's half. Maybe even some goal prospects, but nothing has formulated just yet. Looking for a play up the left side, but intercepted by Conestoga. Now they're just going to play it back. Stall for time a little bit. Conestoga playing it up the left field. Number 18, MJ Borowski. We've seen her crucial in some plays in the last half, and looking to make some more. Upper Darby sends it back past their goal line, and again, another corner from Conestoga. Such a prevalent theme in this game. Really has defined it and set the tone for a lot of it. Yeah, Conestoga has gotten a lot of opportunities here. Not a super high success rate for the number they've gotten. But again, Upper Darby is doing pretty well at defending these. Conestoga, the header is deflected to the right of the goal. That's going to be Upper Darby possession and an Upper Darby goal kick. As we were saying in that first half, getting distance on these goal kicks is crucial. Trying to get a good start for your attack is a huge component of how successful it will be. And Upper Darby has been doing a good job of improving that. Probably going to see it here. Not super far distance-wise, but they are able to find an open player. Upper Darby with possession, but facing pressure from Conestoga. Playing it back, not making the most of their positioning that they could have. I think a lot of Upper Darby is a little cramped. Not making the most of the space they have. But Conestoga keeping on the pressure. Less than 15 minutes left in this game. Not much room for change, but the Tide still can.
Yeah, Toby, that play there, I mean, it could be a multitude of factors. It could be them being tired. It could be a communication breakdown. It could just be them not placing themselves well. It could be all of them combined. You know, it's just really upsetting for Upper Darby if I was supporting Upper Darby to see that those factors are still in play with just under 14 minutes left in the second half.
That's true, but what is inspiring from them is their perseverance. It's 0-7. They're down by 7. It's looking rough for them, but they're still giving it their A game. A lot of energy and a lot of passion coming still from Upper Darby. And similar with Conestoga. I mean, they're laying it back a tiny bit because they're up by a lot. They're not really stressed about this, but, I mean, great play from both teams. Great effort. Some subs coming in for Conestoga. Number 15 and 33. I mean, clock's still winding down. We're approaching the 13-minute mark. Conestoga with a pretty deep throw-in. Hit up by Upper Darby. And sent out. Conestoga, another throw-in opportunity. Kind of just bombarding Upper Darby with attack after attack. Looking rough. Across into the center, but it goes too high. Conestoga doesn't have the personnel to be there. Jenna Khalil with it. Now on the left wing to Huffman. Looking for a cross in. They do find that. Shot goes off, but it's too high, excuse me. Maddie Michalek. Calvin, we did just see a pretty good play there from Conestoga. No goal went in, but I saw some great playmaking. What did you see there?
Yeah, I just saw a lot of consistency, a lot of good, again, communication has been key for Conestoga, and it really has been working out for them. They get the ball back around and into the center where they are able to make those sorts and types of shots, and that really has been the theme for Conestoga's plan of attack here and how they have gotten 7 goals as of this point as the clock continues to tick down.
And I mean, yeah, one thing I do want to highlight is Conestoga's chemistry. We're seeing it right here with the playmaking. Shot goes too far left, but as I was saying, I think these girls know each other very well. They know how they play. I mean, the team really is working as one. That's something that you really got to build up over time in practice, but it's really showing itself off right now. Upper Darby with another goal kick. We've seen so many, but maybe they can make something more of it. 11 minutes left on the clock. Ball sent out to the right. Nobody there for Upper Darby. Little bit of a surprising play, and that's going to be Conestoga's ball. It's going to be a throw-in by Huffman. Over to number 8, MJ Borowski. I mean, great play from Conestoga here. Trying to get the ball into the center. Maybe a shot, maybe a cross. I'm not sure, but it goes too far left. Upper Darby left with the ball again. Approaching just 10 minutes left. Calvin, we're really far deep into the second half. I think a lot has changed from the beginning of the game. What have you noticed?
Well, I've noticed that at least in the middle of the game, we have seen Upper Darby sort of attempt to claw their way back in points and goals, but when that didn't work, they sort of have lost their momentum once again, and they have sort of repeated the cycle that we saw in the beginning of the game, where Conestoga has multiple opportunities to score, as you saw right there, with Rhea Mishra taking a shot towards the goal and the goalie being able to catch it. And that's really been a recurring theme here, is Conestoga having these multiple goal opportunities just stopped by Upper Darby's goalie. And if it wasn't for that goalie, I think Conestoga could have scored a lot more goals, which is just absolutely demoralizing for Upper Darby. But as you said, their perseverance continues as they continue to struggle for ball possession.
Yeah, I mean, their fighting spirit really is admirable. We've seen them down almost this entire game, except for the really beginning, but they're still putting in their A game, as I said before. They're still playing ferociously. They're still looking for those opportunities. Same with Conestoga, which I like as well. Again, free kick for them. Pretty big opportunity. Played on the ground. Conestoga with control here, but Upper Darby able to send it out to the corner. Conestoga probably wants a corner there, but they're going to be left with the throw-in. Second best option there, but I don't know how deep they can get it. Conestoga with some slow passing, converting into a cross. Shot comes off, but it's too high. Whistle blown, and again, gonna be a goal kick for Upper Darby here. Little less than 9 minutes left on the clock. Not much is really going to change here, I don't think. More of a waiting game for both teams. Conestoga, I think, is confident in their current status, their current position in this game. Upper Darby maybe has done a bit of accepting, but still trying to look for those points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when we began the second half, we thought that Upper Darby was going to change their strategy, and they perhaps had in the first half, but they have resulted back to that sort of defending their own goal from Conestoga's multiple attacks that they've seen, which is quite unfortunate because these attacks really could be beneficial for them, as you said, getting points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, that Conestoga pressure is just really hard to deal with, and I mean, now they're laying it back a little bit, getting late into the game, a little bit of passive play, but Huffman for Conestoga not giving up, playing it to Michalik, trying to get that ball in the center with some dribbling. Nice idea of play there, but shut down by Upper Darby's defense. I mean, they've done that pretty well. Other than a couple goals that they have let in, the Upper Darby defense has proven themselves to be a force to reckon with. They've gotten a lot of those Conestoga attacks out to the side, maybe even back onto their half, so great performance as we're heading into the last 7 minutes of this game. Another Conestoga corner. Comes in pretty close, but Upper Darby able to deflect it. Ball still on the ground here. Conestoga has an opportunity. Maybe a shot will come out from outside the box. It does, but it's too far left. I like the idea there, the power. A little bit of a risky shot. Pretty low chance of going in, but given the amount of time they have in the score, not a bad decision from Conestoga Jenna's Khalil. Clock is ticking as we're approaching the 6-minute mark. Upper Darby with another goal kick. I mean, if you just look at the field right now, you can see how good Conestoga's positioning is. Their players are spread out. They know what space they have to work with, and they know how to use it. Some headers coming in for Conestoga, but contested. Upper Darby and Conestoga both fighting for the ball. Conestoga with some nice skill work, but it's back in their half. A little bit of a threat as Upper Darby increases their pressure. Conestoga with a counterattack on that right wing. Bringing it up. This is looking dangerous for Upper Darby. Conestoga has their players in their box that they need. Going to Khalil as we've seen so often. Maybe tempted to take a shot, but bringing it back a little bit. Upper Darby greatly defended. Constantine, as we've seen, has been doing a good job keeping Conestoga's attacks in check. Again, Conestoga keeping up the pressure, attack after attack. They have a shot opportunity there. Borowski with a chance, but nothing formulates. It's looking like another corner for Conestoga. We've seen so many of these. Haven't gotten a goal off in a while from them, but Kelvin, as we're wrapping up this game, how do you feel about it in general?
I feel that Conestoga did well. They had good communication, as they have always. The girls' team is known for being pretty strong here. They had good communication, good teamwork. as well as good attacks, and they knew what they were doing. They had a plan every single time they wanted to attack. It never was one person advancing at one time. It was always a few people knowing what they were doing and passing to each other, knowing that they were always there. For Upper Darby, I think the goalie has saved them from a lot more harm than they already have suffered. I mean, 7 goals, but there were so many goal opportunities that were stopped. Of course, Upper Darby's defense is something that needs to be dealt with, and it isn't just an easy goal for Conestoga. We have seen a lot of corner kicks this game, and I think that is the result of Conestoga's many attempts at the goal and that being knocked away from the goalie or one of Upper Darby's defenders. Bit of a reset here, or not a reset, but we see the ball near Conestoga's goal.
Conestoga goal kick, first one we've seen in a while, and as Calvin was saying, big ups to the Upper Darby goalie. I mean, 7 goals, but at least twice as many saves, saving them from a lot of damage, as he said. But we're still in it. Conestoga with the ball on that right side. 3 minutes left in the game. Time is really ticking. Not much time for Conestoga to do anything, but they still attempt it. Cross comes into the middle. MJ Borowski with a chance, but goes a little too high. Upper Darby with a goal kick. Maybe looking at one of their final attacks here.
Yeah, that time is really running out, Toby. I mean, we've only have 3 minutes left, and the ball has barely gotten out of Upper Darby's half. I mean, this is really a bad note to end off with, and hopefully Upper Darby can come up with something in the last few minutes of the game.
I mean, as we've seen here, Conestoga is just putting so much pressure on Upper Darby. It's really hard for them to do anything. 2.5 minutes left. Conestoga still keeping up with that pressure, looking to get that ball inside. Ball dished out to the left side, just outside the box, looking for a cross in. They do get one, but nothing formulates. Rhea Mishra with an attempt there, but nothing connects. 2 minutes on the clock. Upper Darby in possession. Conestoga forced back a bit, but again, their defenders all the way at midfield. You can just see the confidence they have on the field. Time is ticking though. Upper Darby has to do something. We're approaching that 1.5 minutes, which if they want to make a play, that cutoff is coming soon. Conestoga playing it pretty passively. They're staying in control here. Just passing the ball around. They have it on the right side. Bring it back to midfield. Upper Darby still fighting for possession. But Conestoga sticking with it. Jenna Khalil with the now. Looking to make an advancement, but nothing comes to fruition. Just less than a minute left now. Huffman for Conestoga, looking for the cross inside. Mishra tries to respond, but blocked by Upper Darby. Ball sent out. I mean, Conestoga forced to retreat a little bit. Maybe just 1 or 2 attacks left in this game. Ball shot high. That's going to be another goal kick for Upper Darby, and maybe the last. Less than half a minute.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that Upper Darby couldn't come up with anything in the last few minutes of the game, but they did play well, and they mentally still stayed in check with that score on the board. They just didn't mind what that score was, and they just kept playing like they always should. A bit of interaction here on the field.
Whistle blown, but 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and that's going to be the end of it, guys. 7-0 for Conestoga. Great play from both teams. Overall, pretty one-sided performance, but still great soccer from both sides. That's going to be it for today's game, folks. And we'll catch you next time on Teamer Field For TETV, I'm Toby Dieterla, and with me is...
Calvin Can.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.